Sorry about that. Stuff fell over and hit my computer and stopped my print thing, and instead of redoing the whole thing again, I'll just do it in 2 parts. So, as I was saying, this is my 1990 Part 2 and 1991 Part 1 accessory bin. Oh, the clips for the Viper gliders, because they wouldn't fit in the frame and I didn't want to break them, so I didn't want to put them in the frame and break them. So I have both of them, and luckily they're both exactly the same. So, and then the music boxes from the anniversary sets, from the 25th anniversary sets. Oh, yes, I also have the new Adventures of Johnny Quest figures that came out. That some of you might remember that they reused the sub and the boat for G.I. Joe. The little boat came with the hovercraft pilot, Cutter, version 4, I think it was, in 2000. And then I think it was Sub Viper that came with the sub, the Johnny Quest sub for the G.I. Joe versions. And then these are the Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter accessories. They just stay in a baggie because there's not a lot of them. And then I have a Crunch and Munch tin that has my 91 Part 2 and 92 Part 1 figure weapons in them. So this thing has seen better days, because I think this was originally my 95 or 85 or 86 or 87 and up for a long while. And these are my 87 to 90s coffee tin, which is kind of odd that I have coffee tins because I don't drink coffee. And they actually stay pretty well safe in these. I don't have broken pieces. Actually, I can't say that because I did stretchers, hover disc did break a couple times that I've had to replace, but now when I put it away, I just take it apart. And everything fits right in a nice, good box. So, since I've had to do another video, second part of the video, because it's abruptly ended because things falling down. What else can I talk about? I do have a bunch of accessory packs, because back in 2002 there was a box set of, I think, 6 G.I. Joes and 6 Cobras that had those sound attack weapons and stuff, and none of them came with their authentic, with any of their really cool original weapons. So I've gathered a bunch of extra weapons over the years, and when I set them up, instead of having their sound attack weapon, I'm actually going to put their actual weapons that their original figures came with. So Dalton will have his communications device, Murray will have his sled, and Roadblock will have his machine gun. Snake Eyes will have his version 3 stuff. Yep, there it is. Okay. So I mean, I've done that with a bunch of things, like with some of the Vipers from the second generation figures. Some of the Vipers didn't come with Viper backpacks and guns, so I've gone through and looked for like generic accessory pack Viper guns or reproduction Viper guns, and have a baggie full of those, because they still do have their weapons that the figures did come with. I'm not going to get rid of those. Unfortunately, back in the 90s, I did get rid of a lot of the multiple weapons that came on the trees, weapon trees, and their launchers. So I am slowly replacing those so I can have them. Nope. Another set of figures that I do collect, besides the core, are the ones from the dollar store that I'm sure a lot of you guys know about now. Okay. Are the Final Faction figures. And I do have a lot of those. I have actually most every first and second series. I'm still looking for the spoofed up third series. The ones that glow in the dark and stuff. So my dollar store hasn't really gotten those. And I do have their vehicles. I don't have the other vehicles, but I do like their vehicles, and I like the idea that they're GI Joe size. So that was cool, because then you can actually set up dioramas with GI Joe using this vehicle, which is really cool. And I do have the core. I have a bunch of core vehicles in here, but the rest are all out in storage also. Let's see. Yes, I do have I do Warhammer. I used to do Warhammer religiously when I was younger. But plastic crack is what people call it. I have stopped because I have other things to do, and the figures, the miniatures for the games are getting way too expensive now. And I don't like the rules for the Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and I'm not too fond of the 40k rules and the changes that they made for them. So I have not really played. I've got some figures here and there, but I have the original Hero Quest from the 80s, and I do have the newer one. I picked that up when it came out, buried over there. Another miniature game I do like playing, that I have some miniatures for, and I have the main box set for, but I have like one expansion and maybe some of the expansion figures, is Shadows of Brimstone, which is like a Cthulhu-esque Wild West miniature board game. So that's cool. I do have a bunch of the modern figures. Unfortunately, my modern figures are in like shipping boxes, and their weapons are in a big, huge soap powder bin. It's about yay big. So other than that, well, you know what? Since I've still got some time on this one, let's do a 84 figure show, because then I'll just count this as the 84's video Part 2. So I mean, I've got, when the 84 figures first came out, he was the first one I got, Blowtorch, because I liked the idea of a flamethrower. I thought that was cool. So I mean, and he is super loose. His knees are really loose. I didn't realize that. And then there's the Duke, the blister pack Duke. There's Mutt, Recondo, and unfortunately, when I was fixing Recondo's O-ring, his crotch broke. So I mean, and I still have the little piece. And if anybody knows how to repair the crotches to where they can look okay, please leave a comment down below. Then ripcord, roadblock, spirit, tank or clutch, deep six. I have everything but the hose for deep six. I still have the bellow pump, but I don't have the hose anymore. Thunder, in cutter. And then I have Hooded Cobra Commander, which I got in the mail, which was cool. And then my replacement Zartan, Wild Weasel, Stinger Driver, Copperhead. And somehow Copperhead's thumb broke off a while ago, and I never noticed that. And I have no idea which version of Copperhead I have. I know that there's two versions of this one. So, and then I think he was my first Cobra that I got from the 84 set. So Firefly's full strap iron, Storm Shadow, which has the fingernail polish on the bottom, and scrap iron does too, but you can't really tell because scrap iron's got red legs, red feet, and then my Baroness. So that's the Cobras. As you can tell, there weren't many GI Joes in '84 that were original, so that's cool. Ooh, sorry. But other than that, that's about it. That's the 82, 83, and now 84. I'm just looking to see if anybody else has got broken body parts. Oh, I do have the mail away Sergeant Slaughter that I put in the 85 case because I mailed away for him in 85. Because that's when I started seeing the labels on the packages. So I know most people put them in with the 86s because 86 is when the Sergeant Slaughter came out with the Triple T. But I put them in this case, the 85 case, with the 85 guys. And I do have the orange tripwire. Because when I went to KV Toys, I saw him in there one day when I was a kid, and I go, ooh, cool. Unfortunately, I do not have the cassette. The only cassette I have is the cassette from the Special Mission Brazil. And no, there's nothing recorded on side B. So I mean, I don't have his cassette anymore. And my frostbite is still white. And my metal head, it's super loose. And I do have his mic. I think I have everybody's mic. Unfortunately, I think my Night Force Sneak Peeks mic is a reproduction. And I think this actually might be a reproduction. Because I think the original one was black or brown, wasn't it? So this might be a reproduction mic too. Which is fine with me, because as long as the pieces are there and they look complete, I personally don't care if they're reproduction parts or accessory pack parts. My brace is loose. And the Crimson Twins. Crimson Guard. Yeah, this Snake Eyes version 2's also got teeth marks. So I have no idea what I was doing. Because my sister would have been beyond being teething by then. 84, yeah. She would have been 5. And I was 11. My sister, I was a little past being 6 when she was born. I was almost 7. So my Flint is like worn out, because I think Flint was like one of the first ones I got from this series. So he's like, his paint is like going away. His gloves are turning black. His hat is becoming tan. But you know what? Those don't bother me, because that just shows that I played with them and that they're aged and they're still well taken care of, even if they are in the cases. So, that's it for this video. Sorry that it's in 2 parts. That's my fault for putting cases on top of a wobbly shelf and having it land on the computer. And I'm glad it didn't damage the computer. But other than that, stay tuned. I'll be doing other videos on the other years from 85 and on, and the 90s. And I'll even do a video of the 97 figures, the anniversary sets. So I mean, and how I was disappointed that Roadblock and Breaker didn't look like Roadblock, or Rock and Roll and Breaker didn't look like Rock and Roll and Breaker. So I mean, oh. And there was one thing I was going to ask you guys, the G.I. Joe fans out there, that if any customizer, besides Black Major, I even asked Black Major, but if any customizer out there would customize me a 15th anniversary Flash for the 97, 98 set, so I can put Flash in the case. So the whole case is not missing a figure, so all 3 cases are complete. That would be cool, because I know there's prototype photos of what Flash was going to look like in the Stars and Stripes set. So I mean, if anybody would do that, send me put a message down below, and email me. I'll put my email in the box, so you can email me and we can make arrangements and payment or whatever trade payment. So that would be cool. And I do have, it's buried because I've been waiting for the stickers, replacement stickers to come for the game. I do have the 586 10-figure set. I'm missing a couple of the figures that I need to replace, but I do have the case and some of the figures for that. My Cobra officers' fingers are broken off, but I did get those. Did get that with the red back file cards, which was cool. And unfortunately, they're buried behind a bunch of helicopters. So other than that, have a good week. Enjoy and have fun.